Welcome to my class of computer graphics. Today we will learn about anti-aliasing algorithm. Anti-aliasing may refer to any of a number of techniques to combat the problems of aliasing in a sampled signal such as a digital image or digital audio recording. Specific topics in anti-aliasing include anti-aliasing filter, a filter used before a signal sampler to restrict the bandwidth of a signal, such as done in audio applications. Spatial anti-aliasing. This is a technique or method of minimizing aliasing when representing a high resolution image at a lower resolution. Fast approximate anti-aliasing, an anti-aliasing algorithm created by Timothy Lotz under NVIDIA. It may also be referred to as fast sample anti-aliasing group. Multi-sample anti-aliasing, a type of spatial anti-aliasing method. Supersampling is a type of spatial anti-aliasing method. Temporal anti-aliasing techniques to reduce or remove the efforts of a temporary aliasing in moving images. When aliasing, the question arises, when does aliasing occurs? Aliasing occurs when real-world objects, which comprise of smooth, continuous curves, are rasterized using pixels. Causes of anti-aliasing is undersampling. Undersampling results in loss of information of the picture. Undersampling occurs when sampling is done at a frequency lower than Nyquist sampling frequency. To avoid this loss, that means the loss that occurs due to undersampling, we need to have our sampling frequency at least twice that of highest frequency occurring in the object. This is done to avoid this loss. Otherwise, this loss is not avoided. Now let us study what is anti-aliasing. Here, in case of anti-aliasing, the minimum required frequency, is referred to as Nyquist sampling frequency. This is the shortest method, or the Nyquist sampling frequency. In short, we call FS. So this is Nyquist sampling frequency. Now we write Fs is equal to 2 into Fmax. Fmax is the maximum amount of frequency. So this can be stated as that our sampling interval should be no larger than half the cycle interval. This maximum required, the sampling interval is called Nyquist sampling interval access. Now let us define the calculation of sampling. We use the symbol delta XS is equal to delta X cycle by 2. This is the value of XS, where delta X cycle is equal to 1 by F max. That means this is done, or this cycle is calculated at the maximum frequency level. Now we will read about this is about the calculation of algorithm. Now we will read about the methods of anti-aliasing. What are the different methods of anti-aliasing? Different methods of anti-aliasing is, first method is aliasing is removed. This is the, we can say that first method of aliasing is removed using 4 methods. First method through which the aliasing is removed is using higher resolution display. This is the way how the aliasing is removed. This is one of the way to reduce aliasing effect and increase sampling rate is to simply display object at a higher resolution. Using higher resolution, the jaggies become so small that they become indistinguishable by the human eye. Hence, jagged edges get blurred out and edges appear smooth. So this is the one of the methods of anti-aliasing, which is referred to as using higher resolution display. Now, what is the practical application of higher resolution display? Practical application is, for example, retina displays in Apple devices. OLED displays have high pixel density, due to which jaggies formed are so small that they are blurred and indistinguishable by our eyes. Now, the second is post filtering. This is the second method, post filtering. It is also referred as super sampling. This method is referred as super sampling. In this method, we are increasing the sampling resolution by treating the screen as if it is made of a much more fine grid, due to which the effective pixel size is reduced, but the screen resolution remains the same. Now, the intensity from each subpixel is calculated and average intensity of the pixel is found from the average of intensities of the subpixels. That means first step is to calculate the average of intensities of subpixels. Thus, we do sampling at higher resolution and display the image at lower resolution or resolution of the screen. Hence, this technique is called super sampling. This method is also known as post filtration, as the procedure is done after generating the rasterized image. Now let us look at the practical application of post filtering or super sampling. In gaming, SSAA, super sample anti-aliasing, or FSAA, full screen anti-aliasing, is used to create best image quality. It is often called the pure AA, and hence it is very slow, and hence as a very high conceptual cost This technique was widely used in earlier days when better AA anti-aliasing techniques were not available. So this was an old or traditional method which is not popular these days. Different models of SSAA available are 2x, 4x, 8x, etc. Denoting that sampling is done x times than current resolution. Now, a better style of anti-aliasing is, this is the third is, now the better style of anti-aliasing is multi-sampling aliasing. What is multi-sampling anti-aliasing? This is faster and approximate style of super sampling. It has lesser computational cost, better and sophisticated super sampling techniques, and are developed by graphic card companies like CSAA, NVI, DIA, and CFAA by AMD. Now the third step is pre-filtering. Pre-filtering is the third step. Pre-filtering, we also called it as area sampling. Now, in area sampling, pixel intensities are calculated proportional to the areas of overlap of each signal, each pixel, with objects to be displayed. Here, pixel color is computed based on the overlap of scene's object with a pixel area. Okay. Now, for example, suppose a line passes through 2 pixels. The pixels covering bigger portion, say 90% of the line displays 90% intensity, while less area, say 10% covers pixel displays 10 to 15% intensity. If pixels area overlaps with the different colors area, then the final pixel color is taken. Okay, now let us go to the fourth method. Fourth method is pixel phasing. Pixel phasing is the fourth method. What is pixel phasing? It is a technique to remove anti-alias. It is a technique to remove aliasing. Here, pixel positions are shifted to nearly approximate positions near object geometry. Some systems allow the size of individual pixels to be adjusted for distributing intensities, which is helpful in phasing, which is helpful in pixel phasing. So these are the mainly four main types of anti-aliasing method. Now let us look into the other applications. Now let us look into the other applications. First is compensating for a line difference. We can write as applications of anti-aliasing. What are the, no, this is not the fifth point, this is a separate one. What are the applications of anti-aliasing technique? First is compensating for line intensity differences. When a horizontal line and a diagonal line plotted on the raster display, the number of pixels required to display both line is same, even though the diagonal line is 1.414 times larger than the horizontal line. This leads to a decrease in intensity of the longer line. To compensate for this decrease in intensity, the intensity of pixel is assigned according to the length of the line using anti-aliasing technique. So now let us look into anti-aliasing boundaries. What is anti-aliasing boundaries? Anti-aliasing concept can also be applied to remove jaggies around area boundaries. Suppose the jaggies exist around area boundaries. So these procedures can be applied to scanline algorithms to smoothen out area boundaries. If repositioning of pixel is possible, then pixel position are adjusted to positions clear to area boundaries. Other methods adjust pixel intensity at a boundary position according to the percent of the pixel area inside the boundary. So these methods effectively smoothen out the area boundaries. Any model of graphics can be reproduced with a dense matrix or dot matrix. Most human beings think graphic objects as point, lines, circles, ellipse. For generating graphical object, many algorithms have been developed. What are the various algorithms and what are the advantages of developing algorithms? Algorithm can generate graphics object at a faster rate. Using algorithm memory can be used effectively. Examples of object that can be scan converted. Let me write down the different examples of objects which can be scan converted are point, line, okay, one is point, another is line, third one is sector, next one is arc, then ellipse, then rectangle, polygon, character, then there are after character what you will write. After character there is filled regions. So these are different types of objects that can be scan converted. The process of converting is also called as rasterization. Okay, this is the process of rasterization. The algorithm implementation varies from one computer system to another computer system. Some algorithms are implemented using the software. Some are using the character, some are performed using hardware or firmware, and some are performed using various combination of hardware, firmware, software. Okay, now the process of converting is also known as rasterization. If we look into pixel or PEL is a short form of a picture element. It is also called a point or a dot. It is the smallest picture unit accepted by display devices. A picture is constructed from 100 commands. line, circle, arc, character, curves are drawn with closely spaced pixel. To display the digital or letter matrix of digital of the pictures and density of the pixel is called the screen. Now scan converting a point. How to scan convert a point? Each pixel on the graphics display doesn't represent a mathematical point. Instead, it means a region which theoretically can contain an infinite number of points. Scan converting a point involves illuminating the pixel that contains the point. Now let us look into the example. There is a diagram is given. This is the display coordinate point. Scan converting a point. What is the point? Let me write. Point is P1. P1 is, you can write here, we write as P1. In P1, we write as 2, 1/4. Here it is comma, then 3, and again I will write 1/4. Okay, so this is the coordinate of point P1. Similar will be the coordinates of point P2. So here we write point P2, and the coordinates of point P2 is 2, 2/3, 2, 2/3. This is the, wait, this is 2, 2/3 and 1, 1/4. So this is P2. Point P1 and P2 as shown in the diagram would be presented by pixel 2 and 1 in column 2 and in row 1. In general, a point Pxy is represented by the integer part of x and the integer part of y. That is, we can represent it as integer, and then in bracket we will write x. Similarly, integer, and then we will write integer y. So this is the representation. So in this way, we can establish, or this is an anti-aliasing method. That's all for today. Thank you.